Hi everyone, and welcome back to Base Camp. Today we are going to be talking about the line in the Creed that says, "Was crucified, dead, and buried." The crucifixion of Jesus is one of the more sure facts of history. We know this both from biblical sources and non-biblical sources, or extra-biblical sources as well. There were many historians that were writing during Jesus' time that were secular or Roman that acknowledged Jesus' death on the cross and his people. That included Josephus, Thaumas, Tacitus, among others. Medical doctors have also looked at what crucifixion would have done to a person's physical body, and they all agree with the biblical account. The crucifixion was a horrific, torturous method of execution. When a person was crucified, there were 9-inch nails driven into the wrists, crushing the median nerve. Their arms would have been stretched out, sometimes dislocating shoulders. And the crushing of the nerves would have rendered their hands useless and would have been extremely painful. Once they were on the cross beams and the nails were nailed into their feet, it was a slow, agonizing death by asphyxia. Because because their arms were outstretched, they would have been locked in the inhale position, which means that the only way they could breathe out to breathe in again was they had to push up with their nailed feet. So it was pure agony, and they would have died by asphyxiation very, very slowly, because once they reached a point where they could no longer physically push up, that would have been the end of them. Mel Gibson's movie The Passion portrays this very, very accurately, and not for minor children. So Jesus absolutely died on the cross. The swoon theory and the resuscitation theory are complete and utter hogwash, and they're just not possible. The fact of the matter is that absolutely no one survived an a full-on Roman crucifixion. If a person was crucified, they were going to die, and that was that. The Romans were professional killers. If a Roman soldier allowed a crucifixion victim to be taken down from the cross still alive, he would have been crucified in that person's place. Another thing is, Jesus was properly buried. There has been much debate over this over the years. Some would argue that Jesus wasn't buried because most crucifixion victims, we thought up until recently, were thrown into a pile and eaten by wild animals. But on an archaeological dig done in 1968, a person was found in a burial site, properly buried, who had been a Roman crucifixion victim. This individual actually had a spike embedded in his heels. So what would have happened is this would have largely been up to the governor's discretion on whether the body was given to a family member if the request was made. We know through Scripture that a request was made to Pontius Pilate by Joseph of Arimathea, and he was laid in his tomb. And that is more information on the line that Jesus was crucified, dead, and buried. And next time we will be talking about his descent to the dead, and what that may have meant. So hopefully this has helped you better understand Jesus' crucifixion, death, and burial. I'll see you next time, and God bless.